Okay, respect. Respect to me is symbolic of life values, of core values. And many of you may or may not have been paying attention to or writing down your core values. And they change over time, right? As each and every decade goes by, maybe each and every life circumstance hits us and leaves us. We're at this point and the pinnacle to say, what is my purpose here? Why am I here? What are the things that I can do to live, to love, to have well-being, to have dignity, to enhance my life, my love in my life, my career, and my relationships? So, as part of this respectful video, I'm going to share with you a portion from Lead by Example, my new book. And it's from the chapter called Spiritual Intelligence Theory. So spiritual intelligence is SQ. It's the next level up from EQ. So you have IQ, EQ, emotional intelligence, and then SQ, which is spiritual intelligence. So I'm just going to read to you, and then I'm going to ask you to do an activity. Spiritual intelligence is the capacity to process your purpose in life with a high degree of understanding and a commitment to your core values. Your core values describe how you feel about yourself, including self-worth, self-trust, and self-love. Have the belief that you're a good person who is deserving of good things. It's the mark of an influencer. It's the leadership trait that encourages you to behave with maturity. If you haven't thought about self-appraisal, personal vows, or belief systems in quite some time, this is an appropriate cadence to do it in the month of respect. Now, thinking about core values here, this is where we turn it into an activity, right? Core values are evergreen representations of your habits. Evergreen meaning consistent. They reflect the way that you accept, consider, appreciate, and listen in life. They represent how open you are, how affectionate or empathetic you are, and how you interact with yourself and others. Core values can be goal-driven and can deliver increased excitement for life. When you start to think about what you actually value in life, then you start to pay attention more and start to focus, right? The last month's theme was focus and mindfulness and concentration. When we start to think about and focus on our core values of life, why are we here? What is our purpose? Kind of wakes us up to having a better idea of how we're going to spend the 24 hours that we have on this very earth each and every day, right? So when you connect to your core values, you fire up the confidence to dance with your purpose and your spirit feels alive. If you haven't written about your core values, they can look something like the statements below, and this is where we can actually fill them in. So I'm giving you this from my book, before my book. So if you can write down what your core values are, I'm actually not going to go forward because I don't want to give away what's in the book, sorry. And I hope that you buy my book, and I hope you buy 10 copies and give them to your employees. If you're a business owner, remind your bosses and your HR managers that this book is available because it can help a lot of people in the professional areas. You can actually give one to your partner too if you're in a love relationship and you just want to keep elevating each other. So core values are a sign of respect because they ask us to live the life fulfilled. The life fulfilled is living a really good life. And living a really good life is really liking your life. Really liking your life is actually really knowing your life. That one of the biggest things that I get as an executive coach, spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally with people, is the idea of people who lost their purpose. In fact, I've lost my purpose several times throughout life. Not wholeheartedly, not fully, but in this place of, wow, what am I supposed to do with my life? And I know that you found that too. So one of the tactical tactics, practical tools when you're actually feeling this sense of loss is core value writing. So if you can take a moment after this video to write about the top 10 things that you value in life, about humanity, about being a human being, about who you are in this very place, in this beautiful world right now. They can look something like, I value my voice. I value my commitment to getting up at 5:30 and writing books. I value the opportunity to go to bed early, several times a week. I value my commitment to help my children understand their homework. Things like that. Because there's an element of self-worth that comes from that. There's an element of self-love and a moment where you can actually say, well, I'm a good person. Or you can write about things that you've been thinking about in your mind, right? Coming again from mindset. There's so many things in our minds that we forget. And when we start to write them down, that's when we truly live in our purpose. So celebrate your core values. Celebrate who you are as a sign of respect for yourself on this very planet, in this very moment. And share that in a journal. And I'd be so happy if you shared it with us in our Facebook group as well.